Homework 7.6 Factoring using GCF. Level 1, you're going to use the GCF to factor 5z squared plus 45z. What you're looking for this one is the number that divides 5z squared as well as 4z. You can do this one two ways. We can just like think about it that 5z is divided by 5z. 45 is also divided by 5z, so the GCF is 5z. Or we can just break it down into small factors like 5 times z times z and 9 times 5 times z, and then see that this 5z and this 5z are common in these two terms that can be factored out. Inside I'm left with z and then plus 9. So the factor that was common is 5z. Thinking for the same thing, what is the common factor that divide this term as well as this term? Or biggest common factor, so greatest common factor, that's what we are looking for. There is a number that is 2 which can divide both of them, but the biggest number that divide both of them is 4. So 4m divides this as well as this. So the GCF for number 7 is 4m. You can divide this by 4m. So 4m is common. 8m squared divided by 4m is m. And when you divide this one by 4m, you left with 1. So GCF is 4m, and inside you left with m plus 1. So this is another way of doing this. Deciding what is the GCF and divide both of them to see what you left with inside the bracket. Next is again number 8. What can divide both the terms? What is the biggest number that divide both of them? So 3, we can see that divide 3, and 9 also divisible by 3. So 3 is one of the number. What about the GCF for the variable? So it's going to be 3y squared. You can either do this, break them down. So 3 times y times y, and see what is common. So I can see the 3yy and 3yy common. So the 3yy common. Inside you left with y, and you left with negative 3. So the answer is 3y squared times y minus 3. And those are the factor form of this standard form. 3y squared outside, inside y minus 3. You can do the problems like that. Once you decide, divide them, or you can break them down and see what is common in first term and second term. What I'm doing for the next one, for number 9, I'm using this method. So I'm deciding that both the terms have 10 common number that divide both of them, and x squared. And then when I rewrite it, so 20x cubed plus 30x squared, if I divide it by 10x squared, so 10x squared is my GCF. What am I left with? 20 divided by 10 is 2. And x cubed divided by x squared, I'm left with x here. So it's going to be x plus 30 divided by 10x squared. So x square cancel. 30 divided by 10 is 3. So 10x squared, and inside you have 2x plus 3. Now for number 14, since it is equal to 0, it means they're asking us to find the Q. First of all, the GCF is 2. Inside you left with Q plus 5. You put them equal to 0 one by one, constant equal to 0, and Q plus 5 equal to 0. Minus 5 on both sides, you got Q equals negative 5. This is not possible, so you're going to cross this because 2 cannot be equal to 0. So the answer for this one is Q equals negative 5. Same thing when you're solving for number 15. You can solve this problem by subtracting 15 on both sides and dividing by 10. But we're not doing that way. We are going to first figure out what is the GCF between these two terms. Again, the GCF is the number that divide both of them. So the GCF is 5. 10x divided by 5 and 15 divided by 5. The GCF is 5 outside. 10 divided by 5 is 2x because the x is here. 15 divided by 5 is 3. You divide 5 on both sides, the 5 and 5 cancel, and you're going to solve for x. So subtract 3 on both sides and then divide with 2. You get x equals negative 3 over 2. Next is level 2, and for level 2 I'm going to do number 10. So in this case we have 3 terms and we have to decide what is the GCF between these 3 terms. Again, you can do it this as 2 ways. You can break them into smaller parts like 4W and 2 times 4 times W plus 3 times 4 times that 12, and then you're going to see what is common. So you can see that the common number that is 4, 4 and 4. So the 4 is common, and inside you're left with W square minus 2W, so 2W plus 3. So the GCF is 4, and the factor for this is going to be 4 outside, inside is W square minus 2W plus 3. The factor for the next question, number 11, I can see that all of them has a greatest common factor as 5. So you can divide all of the term by 5 since 5 is a GCF comes out. Inside this 5 cancel. You have t squared left. 20 divided by 5 is 4t, and 50 divided by 5 is 10. So the factors are 5 times t squared plus 4t plus 10. For number 16, the GCF is just p because there is no number here. So we cannot even think about any number other than 1p. And when you divide this by p, p is common as a GCF. 4p squared divided by p is just 4p minus p divided by p1. You're going to find out the value of p by putting it equal to 0 one by one and solve for p. So either P is 0 or P is going to be 1 over 4. 0 or 1 over 4. So these are the two values of P. Now for number 17, you have a GCF 6m. Because 6m is the greatest number, that divides 6m as well as 12m. Divide 6m squared with 6m, you left with m inside. 12m divided by 6m, m and m cancel. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Apply the zero product property. When you put 6m equals 0, divide 6 on both sides, you get m equals 0. Subtract 2 on both sides, you got m equals negative 2. For number 18, you need to bring the equation on one side first. So 3n squared minus 9n. GCF is 3n. So the factor the 3n out. Inside you left with n minus 3. Because 3n is GCF. 3n squared divided by 3n. And n is left. 9n divided by 3n is 3. Put them equal to 0, 1 by 1, and then find the n value. So n should be 0 or 3 in order to make this standard form equal to 0. So that is equal to 0.